Yeah. Watch the video. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. Totally shamelessly self-plugging. Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Catherine and I am here today with my book review for As Chimney Sweepers Come to Dust by Alan Bradley. So this is the 7th Flavia de Luce book, which is kind of crazy to think that I've read 7 of these already. Wow. So the Flavia de Luce books are books that I personally find I actually enjoy a lot more on audiobook. Go figure. The narrator for the audiobook is awesome. Awesome. And I have done all 7 books so far pretty much strictly in audiobook format. And I have subjected my mother to listening to parts of at least all of them, I think, which she doesn't always appreciate because it's usually for like 6 or 7 hours at a time. So Alan Bradley is actually a Canadian author, which is phenomenal. And with the with the first 6 books and the little novella that happens within them, they have all been set strictly in the small town that Flavia lives in and her family home Buckshore, which have all been awesome because you get the same cast of characters throughout the first 6 books. They're great. But this book, totally different because it's set in Toronto, which, yes, just yes. I love books when they're set in places that I know, and I'm like, I know where that is. I know where they are in the book. So in typical Flavia fashion, she finds the dead body, or rather the dead body finds her within the first couple chapters. Yeah. So she's been sent to the boarding school that her mother attended in Toronto because she keeps finding dead bodies and, you know, tempering with crime scenes and solving the mysteries and basically being a slight nuisance with redeeming qualities. That's how I look at her. So right off the very, very beginning, you are thrown into all of the action and all of the mystery because we have no idea, first of all, who the body is, and second of all, when they died or how, because it's been shoved up a chimney for at least a year, and that's done a lot of damage. In typical Flavia fashion, she gets herself mixed into all of the issues from the very beginning and puts her nose where it doesn't belong, and it makes for some really entertaining reading. I loved it. I loved the spin that this took on it because there's like this whole secret society thing as well, and it's just nice and different than the other books. I could not figure out who done it until it was pretty much spelled out for me. Like, I kept going back and forth between possible suspects on who could have been the killer. I didn't know why, I didn't know how, and then when it was revealed, I was like, damn, that is good. Like, wow. This book definitely kept me on my toes for the entire thing. You're dealing not only with the mystery, but also with the fact that Flavia is away from home for the very first time. She's finding out things about her mother, she's finding out things about herself, and she's coming to kind of realize that home is really where the heart is. She misses everybody dearly, and at the end of the book, she is headed back there because she's Flavia, and really, home is the only place that'll deal with her BS. While I really enjoyed this new Canadian setting and the new characters, it was really weird listening to the Canadian and not the British accent for the character voices. So that threw me for a loop a little. But I found myself really missing the standard characters that you've had from all of the books. I mean, each character really would bring something extra to the story, and especially I really miss Dogger. Like, his wisdom that Flavia always went to, and the mystery of Dogger, which we still don't know anything about. I found it lacking in that, even though I really enjoyed the way that this book was done and the way that the story was written. Now, according to Goodreads, this does appear to be the last Flavia de Luce book that Alan Bradley is going to be publishing. I don't know why. I really want more because I want more loose ends to kind of be tied up, even though with the last 2 books, especially the 6th book specifically dealing with the missing person and the murder of Flavia's mother, there are some things that I still want to know, and I want to be able to dive back into those regular characters again for at least one more book. I'm really hoping that Goodreads is wrong and that they are going to publish another Flavia book, but if not, this was a rather good way to end the series, even though I'm left wanting more, personally. If you are a fan of mystery and a fan of very precocious 12-year-olds as your main narrator, although this is an adult book, children can read it because the main character is so young. There are a lot of words and terminology that even I had to look up or had to think about with the context that they were used in. I mean, there's a lot of like science stuff in it too, so an older audience would get it maybe a little more, but it is age friendly for anyone. There's no sex, there's no swearing and all of that stuff, and yeah, they're good books. But the mystery is the main thing, and the relationships with the characters, it is just an awesome read. So if you are a mystery lover and you haven't checked out this awesome Canadian, set in Britain for the most part, series, definitely go and check this out, whether it's at your local library or bookstore or online, you know, legally online, or borrowing it from a neighbor or a friend or something, because it is wonderful. I cannot wait for this one to come out in paperback because I need to add it to my collection because I have them all in paperback that are out in paperback so far. So it needs to be done. So that is it. That is my review for A Chimney Sweepers Comes to Dust by Alan Bradley. It was wonderful. I loved it. I sailed right through it, and considering it was on audio, I didn't want to stop listening to it at all. And I didn't have the physical book to also pair it with, so I pretty much, I think, just sat and listened to it in one sitting. I was driving at the time, but that's not the point at all. I didn't want to stop it. I had other books to listen to, why not? So one final thing, I am hosting a giveaway on my channel, and I will link the video down below for Tonight the Streets Are Ours by Layla Sales. So this book does not come out until September. This is an extra arc that I accidentally picked up at BEA. I was not intending to pick up any doubles, and between drops and a signing, that's kind of what I did by mistake. So I'm giving this away to one lucky subscriber who lives in either Canada or North America. All you have to do is go to the link down below for that video and comment on it. That's it. That's it at all. And until next time, guys, as always, happy reading.